Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 7 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 7 math and then click on view all lessons. There you can find the list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter two variable equations. Let's start with the first lesson, that is, does xy satisfy the equation? Does xy satisfy the equation? Does 0, 0 make the equation? Y equals 8x true. Y x is 0 and y is 0. Look at this pair, ordered pair. X is 0, y is 0. So we need to put x equals 0 and y equals 0 in the equation. That is 0 equals 8 times 0. So 0 equals 0, right? That means 0, 0 satisfy the pair of the ordered pair 0, 0 satisfies the equation. So yes, that is the solution of makes the equation true. Let's just start with the test questions. Does 0, 0 makes the equation true? Yes, it is. Option number 1 is the correct option. Is 8, 5 a solution to the equation y equals x minus 3? X is 8, y is 5, right? So plug in the values in the equation. Y is 5, x is 8. So 8 minus 3 is 5. Both sides exactly equal. Yes, that means the solution 8, 5 is the solution of the equation. The correct option is yes. Is 3 1 a solution to the equation? Y equals 2x. X is 3 and y is 1. Sorry, x is 3, y is 1. Y is 1. 2 times 3. 1 is not equal to 6. So no, 3 1 is not the solution of the equation. So the correct option is no. Is 7 3 a solution of the equation y equals x minus 4? X is 7 and y is 3. Y is 3. 7 minus 4. 3 equals 3. Yes, it is. Option number 1 is the correct option. Does 4 3 satisfy the equation? X is 4, y is 3. Y is 3, 9 times 4. 3 is not equal to 36. So the correct option is no. The correct option is no. Option number 1 is the correct option. Is 6, 7 a solution of the equation? The correct option is no. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is identify independent and dependent variables. The manager of the restaurant divides how many servers to schedule for a particular night based upon how many reservations were made of that night. S equals the number of servers scheduled to work and R equals the number of reservation. Which of the variable is independent and which is dependent? So you need to understand the question. You need to read the question again and the manager of a restaurant decides how many servers to schedule for a particular night based upon how many reservations were made on that night. So the number of servers would depend on the number of reservations. A- As many reservations as you have to uh, add more number of servers. So the number of reservations are independent variable, independent variable, and S is the dependent variable. Okay, let's just start with the Test questions. The manager The manager of a restaurant decides how many servers to schedule for a particular night based upon how many reservations were made for that night. S equals the number of servers scheduled to work and R equals the number of reservations. So, which of the variable is independent and which is dependent? The number of servers are dependent number of reservations. So, R is the independent and S is the dependent variable. Okay, the next one is the weather forecast for the town of Yardley has predicted that it will snow all afternoon. The more it snows, the longer will it take to plow all the streets. So read this line again. The more it snows, the longer it will take to plow all the streets. S is equal to the amount of snowfall and T is equal to the length of the time it takes to plow all the streets. Which of the variable is independent and which is dependent? So the more it snows. So the slow is independent variable and the streets the plow the street is the dependent variable. S is independent and T is the dependent variable. On a game show, contestants win money for each question they answer correctly. The number of correct answer dictates the amount of money prize. So read this line again. The number of correct answers dictates the amount of prize money. C is equal to the number of correct answers. M is equal to the amount of money, prize money. C is equal to the number of correct answers. M is equal to the amount of prize money. Which of the variables is independent and which is dependent? So the more number of correct answers, that means C is the independent variable and M is the dependent variable. C is independent and M is dependent. Option number 1 is the correct option. For a party, Corbin made a pan pizza from scratch. The number of people in attendance will determine how many squares he cuts the pizza into. P is equal to the number of people attending the potluck. S is equal to the number of squares Corbin cut the pizza into. The number of square people in the attendance will determine how many squares he cuts the pizza into. So the number of peoples are independent and the number of pieces are the dependent. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is find a value using two variable equations. Find a value using two variable equations. Use the equation f equals p plus 2. F equals p plus 2. Find the value of f. So we need to find the value of f. We are given p equals 3. So f equals p plus 2. P is 3. Replace the variable p with a value that is 3 plus 2. So 3 plus 2 is 5. Let's just start with the test questions. Use the equation f equals p plus 2 and find the value of f when p equals 3. So the equation is f equals p plus 2. Replace the variable p with the value that is 3. So 3 plus 2 is, yes, 5. It is. The correct option is 5. Option number 1 is the correct option. Use the equation, again the same question, but why? Okay, we are on the tutorial 5 it is. Use the equation A equals W plus 9 to find the value of A when W equals 9. W equals 9. Replace the variable with a value. A equals W plus 9. You are given W equals 9, so just replace the variable with a value. So 9 plus 9 is 18. It is option number 1 is the correct option, that is 18. Use the equation y equals j minus 7. Find the value of y when j equals 9. Y equals j minus 7. That is 9 minus 7. That is 2. Option number 1 is the correct option. Use the equation q equals y minus 8 to find the value of q when y equals 9. Q equals y minus 8. You are given y equals 9. So q equals y minus 8. That would be 9 minus 8. That equals 1. So the correct option is option number 2. 1 it is. Option number 2 is the correct option, that is 1. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is solve word problems involving two variable equations. This equation shows how the amount of tape Seema has used is related to the number of presents she has wrapped. T equals 2p. The variable p represents the number of presents wrapped and the variable t represents the amount of tape used in centimeter. How much tape will Seema need is in all if she has to wrap two presents? So P equals to, that is T equals 2P. So 2 times 2 because P is 2. T equals 4. The correct option is 4. Option number 1 is the correct option. This equation shows how the total number of necklaces Tracy owns is related to the amount of money she spends on additional necklaces. N equals D. The variable D represents the amount of money she spends on additional necklaces, and the variable N represents the total number of necklaces she owns. With $11 to spend on new necklaces, how many total necklaces can Tracy own? N equals D. That is 11 because N equals D. The equation shows how the total amount of papers in office has recycled depends on the number of weeks since they started the new recycling plan. P equals 6W. So after 3 weeks, W equals 3. That is 18, 6W. That is option number 2 is the correct option. This equation shows how the amount of money Braden makes from selling lemonade is related to the number of cups sold. D equals C plus 1. The variable C represents the number of cups sold and the variable D represents earning. After selling a total of 10 cups of lemonade, how much money will Braden have made in all? C is 10. D equals 10 plus 1. D equals C plus 1. C is 10. So 10 plus 1 is 11. That is 11. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 7 math. Chapter we were working on is two variable equations. The lessons we have covered today are: does xy satisfy the equations? Identify independent and dependent variables. Find a value using two variable equations. Solve word problems involving two variable equations. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. That is your homework until next session. So if you need more help with any of the lessons, chat button, tutors are available there to help you, or either you can write them down in the chat box. Any questions you can please ask if you have any. No questions because you guys are all busy chatting, right? Okay, bye.